Aloha, namaste, welcome. We will spend a little time this morning, just a little time, talking about the mind and a little bit about its anatomy and how that can really help. Understanding that can actually help you perceive reality more clearly, both in your day and even something you can cultivate during meditation. So the three key components that we see in the sutras as the anatomy or the framework of the mind are the manas, the ahamkara, Henry, and the buddhi. And these three aspects really are the framework of how we're perceiving everything around us. And the manas is, as you can see by the pyramid image, it's sort of the bottom of the pyramid. It's the part of the mind that is most closely related to your senses and collecting all of the sense information that you have all around you. Those senses are abundant, right? There's an excess of content here. So the manas is always moving, always gathering. It's really active. This is the lowest rung on the ladder. It's really a bunch of scattered data, you might say. This would be like seeing a cow, for example, as just splotches of color, sights and smells. But to actually perceive that cow more clearly, we have to climb up this ladder of perception. We can't stay down in just the data. And so that ladder is sort of how we climb. This is something we naturally do, but something we can do more of as we begin to meditate. This first little climb from the splotches up to the next level is pretty natural and pretty easy to do. It's something we do every day, in fact, because as we climb higher on this ladder, we metaphorically are seeing further into the field, right? We're seeing these other splotches of color, which sort of represent previous instances when we've encountered these cows that we haven't yet named yet. We've encountered these splotches of color previously. And so as you climb this ladder, you see a little bit further, you get more perspective, and that relationship starts to take shape. These splotches take the shape of a cow, but they also take the shape of our opinion of a cow. And they even shape our own identity at the same time. You know, for example, as you reflect on these previous times you've encountered this splotch of color, you might say, I'm not a cow person, you know? And so that starts to identify what the cow is, but also what you are. But we don't have to stop there. And many times we do stop there. We just sort of like swipe left, swipe right, like, dislike. That's how it is, right? But we can keep climbing higher on the ladder. And when we do, we take a deep breath. We naturally rise up a little bit higher, and you not only see the other cows in the field, right? But you start to see even beyond the field. You see the fence, you see the house where the farmer lives, you see the trees, you see the sky, and what's interesting is you also start to see yourself in that situation. And this is that top of the pyramid. This is where that ladder is taking us towards. This is the realm of the intellect. This is the realm of imagination, of discernment, of reason. Because when you say that you now perceive this cow, you're referring to a subtler experience of what that cow is. It's no longer about what it physically is or about how you've encountered it. It has an identity unto itself, something that's really pure. And that is the space that we're exploring in meditation. We're trying to cultivate our ability to actually be in that space, a little bit more of a witness space throughout our day. And as we meditate, we're literally going there. It's just there aren't necessarily images that we're climbing up. As we recognize it, we're literally going there consciously. And we're getting used to that space so that we can live from that space during our day. All right. And so now we'll try it. Let's do some meditation. You can find a comfortable seat as always. Rock a little bit in your seat to make sure the spine feels free. Allow the eyes to to close, or you can have them softly gazing at your shrine in front of you. You can swallow and release any tension in the throat and start to slow down your breath flow a little bit. And so if you normally practice with your eyes open, you've already heard this instruction, but for anyone who would like to try it, because I'm going to be guiding a little bit based on that, when you open your eyes for meditation, you have a soft focus. It's almost like you're focusing like here, like a foot in front of you, but then you allow your eyes to see beyond it so that it's like a Gaussian blur. And it's just, you find a focal area. You're not looking at like a certain point, like a drishti. It's like a general area that you're looking. This is called the Shambhavi Mudra, and it is really referring to exactly what we were just talking about, the witness. The eyes are open, but your attention is actually inside. And with those eyes open, there's a tendency to be drawn out into the shapes, the splotches of color. And those splotches of color will pull you right into opinions of those splotches, which is an endless stream of thought. So, we gotta draw our focus inside. So slow the breath down, make it slow and even. Nothing dramatic, but smooth and even, a little bit deeper than normal. Being able to focus on your breath flow while your eyes are open is a big step. And we can bring the simple, natural breath mantra to this practice, repeating silently as we inhale, hum, and as we exhale, sa. And so again, even though there's sensory input coming in through the eyes, through the ears, through the feeling of touch, maybe there's an itch or something, we are directing our focus towards the breath and towards this one syllable mantra. And something that can also benefit you here is a slight smile. For me, it's really important, actually. Because it shows you that what's going on inside of you is actually really amazing. The outside world is amazing too, but too often we assume that what's going on inside is dull. it's not. That slight smile shows you what's happening inside. It's almost like having an inside joke. That slight smile. It's like you know there's something beneath the surface of the situation. With that slight smile and this simple practice of breathing with the hum sa mantra, it's almost like sitting in nature. There's nothing you have to do. You just have to let it help you. You have to let it slowly grow and build. Just by holding your focus on the breath and the mantra and that slight smile. This reservoir is building internally. occasionally swallow and draw a little bit deeper breath into the heart. Almost like digging under the surface with that breath, trying to find a connection that is deeper than the superficial layer of the senses. Let the breath pull you beneath the surface of reality. A little bit deeper breath than normal can help you feel this. And then as you allow the breath to be more natural, notice that's what's happening with each inhale. It's pulling you in. And each exhale, you sink a little further. When you feel your mind contracting into a thought, use the breath to expand into the space around it, to get a little bit bigger than it, to feel. Use your mantra. It's almost like feeling a place in your body that's tense, like your shoulders, not even knowing why they're tense, but just working to soften and release that tension. Our mind is constantly contracting into these thoughts, and the breath and the mantra allow you to release and let go of them, return to a natural state. We're going to take the last few minutes for some tension release practice. You can bring the hands out to the sides of the body, fingertips outstretched. You can feel that same pyramid shape that we were looking at. And here you draw in some fresh prana through the third eye, down the throat to the heart. Hold that breath in the heart for a few moments. Feel the expansion, breaking up any kind of crystallization in there. And as you exhale, you picture that Broken up tension just pouring out of the heart, down the arms and out the hands. You can swallow, release any tension there, and do it again, a 5 to 10 second inhale. Holding the breath in the heart for the same amount of time, feeling all that tension breaking up, collecting any grime and residue. And as you exhale, let it pour out smoke, sludge, ash out of the heart, down the arms and out the hands. Continue at your own pace, the same breath flow, the visualization. And as you're holding the breath at the heart, you can even repeat silently, I deeply wish to surrender all negative psychic tension. And just keep taking in this higher energy. Let it mix. Let it wash out. Release down out the base. After your next exhale, try to let everything pour out. Feel the palms and the fingertips, and then flick those fingertips out. Wipe off the arms. Just take the last moment here. Just be in the state that you've cultivated. So the work you've done to access this higher intelligence, this higher perspective, it'll follow you out into your life. And you can just take a breath throughout your day, anytime, to access that place. It might take a few breaths, but it's there, and it's just a matter of climbing a little higher with your breath to get a clearer perspective in any situation that you face. So, namaste. Thank you for your attention.